Всем привет, с вами Призрачный Игрок и продолжаем прохождение игры Fallout 4. В прошлой серии как раз мы построили телепорт и осталось... Кто это у нас? Не, это не он. И осталось у нас поговорить с нашим механиком. Где-то он тут бродит вокруг. Где-то вижу метку вон с той стороны. Вон. Спустимся вниз. Где-то застрял уже. Вот он с этой стороны стоит. Сейчас с ним поговорим, и я думаю, сможем...
Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens.
Пробуем.
Cold feet? I don't blame you.
Ну, в прошлой серии вот так и не
Don't
удалось.
worry about it.
Потом я дострою, тут сделаю такую как вход. Я как понял, нам нужно подняться на эту платформу. Где он там попал? Что, еще с ним поговорить надо? Мне показалось, он сказал идти на платформу уже. Сейчас подойдем еще разок к нему.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens.
То самое.
Just get on the platform. I'll do the rest.
Ну, сейчас так и сделаем.
I'm ready when you are.
Ну, встали на платформу. Что дальше?
Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. By the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute, what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds.
Ой-ё-моё.
Yeah, we better hurry. Don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And got it. Hold on to your butt.
Ну, посмотрим, удалось нам это или нет. Да, мы это сделали. Мы сейчас находимся... Где я нахожусь? Что у нас с ХП? Все нормально. На всякий выберем оружие. Так, немножко подождем, пусть эта красная метка на экране пропадет. Никого тут нету. Вроде бы все чисто. Так, я вижу, нужно подойти к компьютеру. Где у нас задание? А, понял. Где у нас есть она? Это, мне кажется. Я как понимаю, нужно отправиться нам обратно. Сейчас посмотрим, что там. Да, нужно ему обратно дать. Можно тут походить, что-то полутать.
I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful.
Ладно.
I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Так, у нас это доступно, и нужно отдать эту запись. Ну что ж, теперь нужно разобраться, как выбраться отсюда. Тут ничего. О, что тут? Тут мы, походу, все залутали. Может, обратно сюда вернуться? Может, он сразу обратно перекинет нас? Нельзя тут что-то нажать? Вроде бы не. Проверим еще, что у нас. Нужно отдать обратно ему эту запись для исследований. А как отсюда выбраться? И появилось еще задание. Ладно, пойдем тогда в лифт. Так, оружие я выбрал на всякий, да. Никого тут нету.
It's stuck.
Ясно. Что у нас тут? Обидно, Данса с нами нету. О, что это тут было? А, это лифту. Камера. Ладно. Спускаемся, да.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression.
Где тут выход будет?
Welcome to the Institute. Oh. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100
Прикольно
years,
сделано.
we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific,
Обратно вверх поднимаюсь.
very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Ты мой сын? Какой звук? Как будто тут кто-то рядом ходит. Как эту дверь открыть?
Broken.
Не. Видно, ключ какой-то нужен. Мы сына нашли. Что наверху там? Флаг
No way to pick this.
и ключ нужен. Вот дверь еще.
Don't have the key.
Вот попадос. Обратно вниз. Вот это ключ нужно достать. Получается, мы обратно поедем? Что у нас там есть? Ну, зайти только в лифт и все. Ого. Нету доступа. А что делать? Будем пробовать в этой комнате что делать, потому что другого пути нету нам. О!
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean?
Это точно ты?
Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean.
Я
It's
твой
me.
папа, робот.
I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Yes, it's me. Your dad. I'm here, Sean.
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh, shh, shh. It'll be okay, Sean. I'm here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Please, Sean. I'm your father. Talk to me. Just open the door.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating,
Вырубился.
but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Sean.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod, and when searching for the sun, you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
Ничего себе.
It wasn't right, what they did. Taking you from me like that.
To you, that would certainly seem true. But to the Institute, it made all the sense in the world. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
Как это получается? Нам показалось, что прошло 10 лет, а на самом деле уже 60 лет прошло.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father.
Даже не верится.
Sean. It's really you.
It really is.
Получается, мы нашли
I must
сына,
have questions.
который старше нас.
Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
What would you have me say? The world is a dangerous place. Although I think maybe it always was. It's just a bit more honest about it now. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
After what I've seen, I pity the man. He was as much a victim as anything.
After what he did to you, I'm shocked you would be so generous. But yes, I understand you've experienced things. Perhaps you ended up knowing him better. I, for one, will never truly forgive him. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. I know there's more for us to discuss, but the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
I don't know what to do.
I realize that. It's why I'm trying to help you. I hope that you can see that rationally. The Institute is the only thing left in the world that is worth being part of. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
И предлагает нам сейчас выбор: остаться в институте или отказаться. Даже не знаю. Интересно, что будет, если соглашусь? А что будет? Ради интереса. Не откажитесь.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had certainly hoped we could work together. But every man must make his own decisions. If you choose to leave, I cannot force you to stay. Understand, though, that I cannot allow you to remain within the Institute. You may have safe passage back to the relay, where you will be sent back to the surface. But from that point, you must be considered hostile. I am sorry. I must think first of the safety of the Institute. And in the cruel world that has developed, those who are not with us are against us. The elevator will return you to the relay.
Ну что ж, отправляемся обратно. Нам была возможность остаться тут вместе с нашим сыном, который старше нас. Интересно, что было бы, если я выбрал? И нужно было перед ответом сохраниться и выбрать другой ответ, посмотреть, что было бы. Ну что ж, мы сделали свой выбор, мы отказались и отправляемся обратно в реальность. Тут тоже так прикольно все выглядит. Интересно, если я тут остался бы, я могу какие-то миссии там ходить, проходить? Ну, поздно уже. Сейчас буду все время думать, что было бы. Ой, ё-моё. О, еще немножко уровень. Да. Кстати, если кто выбирал в другой ответ, потом напишите в комментариях. Самому интересно. И получается, мы возвращаемся обратно, и надо сейчас запись обратно дать. Где я? А почему я здесь? И получили уровень. Где мы находимся? Вон. Отправляемся обратно и отдадим запись. И, наверное, на этом мы будем заканчивать тогда. Тогда в следующей серии как раз там с Пристоном нужно будет поговорить. И я думаю, будет что-то интересное. Блин, а что было бы, если остался? Где наш? Вон он. Что-то темно на улице. Поговорим с ним.
Here's that holotape you gave me, full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
Ого. Получается, мы потом убьем еще нашего сына? Ну давай.
Need a way to bring the fight to them.
Let's hope we got something we can use. Well, they sure aren't gonna fall for that teleport hijacker trick twice. Even if it wasn't a smoking pile of scrap metal. All the good stuff on here is gonna be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.
Да. Ну что ж, на этом я серию буду заканчивать. С вами был Призрачный Игрок. И до следующей серии. Всем пока-пока.